Welcome to Lesson 2 on List of the Accessible Word Document video series. Today's lesson will be talking about list. A correctly marked up or structured list is more accessible, usable, and convertible to move it to other formats. Is more eye-catching for your visual users. It better indicates each entry visually. It aligns entries accurately throughout the whole list. Is more accessible for low vision and cognitive disabilities. And is certainly more accessible for screen reader users. Let's look at the WCAG principles once again and see how they apply to our list. The first principle, of course, is perceivable. Our lists have to be perceivable. Not a big problem, except for some of your users. If they're not properly structured, they won't be perceived correctly. Operable. A person has to be able to operate through the list to make it workable for them. Again, not generally a problem, except for certain people such as screen reader users. Understandable. The list has to be created in such a way that it is understandable for all your users. That means your low vision users, your sighted users, your cognitive disability users, your blind users, whoever. They need to be able to understand the list. This is where the biggest problem comes in for lists that are not properly structured. And of course, robust. They have to be robust enough to work with a myriad or wider range of assistive technologies, and that includes, a wide range of technologies, and that includes assistive technologies. So now let's take a look at some lists and see what we mean. So here we're going to start with this list. This is a very poorly structured list. Visually, it looks okay. However, it looks like a list of 6 cities.
New York.
So my screen reader reads New York,
Long Beach,
Albany,
Washington,
Arlington,
Seattle,
and Seattle. So again, it appears to be a list of 6 cities. And if this is what it truly is, then this is probably okay. Because the screen reader is getting the same information as your sighted users, your low vision users, all of those are getting pretty much the same information. So it could be okay, but is that really what this list is? And it isn't structured well. So let's look at another list.
Page 2, blank.
Here again, we have our 6 cities listed, but are they really cities? Because now we have New York and Washington are in bold. So it kind of indicates those 2 are different from the other 4. So what we basically have is probably a list of 2 cities that, or I'm sorry, 2 states that probably has 2 cities under each state. So visually, that's what it could look like. But are your users with cognitive disabilities going to catch that? Possibly people with ADHD who don't catch the bold. Is it really going to stand out to all users? Let's see what the screen reader says.
New York, Long Beach, Albany, Washington, Arlington, Seattle, blank.
So to a screen reader user, it's still a list of 6 cities. Okay, so not a well-structured list here either. Let's go to the next list.
Page 3, blank.
Okay, so here again, we have our 6 items. Now we have the New York and Washington are at the margin. Long Beach, Albany are tabbed in under New York, and
New York, Long Beach, Albany, Washington,
Arlington and
Seattle.
Seattle are tabbed in under Washington. So, but the screen reader didn't read all that. So again,
New York, Long Beach, Albany, Washington, Arlington, Seattle, blank.
a screen reader user is still getting a list of 6 cities, even though visually it's obvious that's really not what this is anymore. So we may be better off for our visual users, our cognitive users, our low vision users, but we still have not got a well-structured list that is accessible, understandable to a screen reader user. Let's look at one more list.
Page 4, blank.
This is a well-structured list that is accessible for all of the individuals I mentioned in the previous 3 lists. So now we have a list that is bulleted. So the bullets really stand out. They're eye-catching, so all your users are going to really see this is a list. They're tabbed, the cities are tabbed in under the states, very clear to cognitive, low vision, whoever might be looking at this. Now let's see what the screen reader says.
Level 1, Bullet, New York.
Level 1, Bullet, New York.
Level 2, Hollow Round Bullet, Long Beach.
Now it says level 2, which tells me this is tabbed in, and it says Hollow Bullet, and it says Long Beach. So in other words, Long Beach is tabbed in and is a second level under New York. That indicates to me as a screen reader user that this is a sub part of New York.
Hollow Round Bullet, Albany.
And Hollow Round Bullet, Albany, that means I'm still at a level 2. That means Albany is also a sub part of New York.
Level 1, Bullet, Washington.
Level 1, Bullet, Washington. It didn't say Hollow Bullet, and it said level 1. That tells me that Washington is at the same level as New York. So Washington must mean a state, not a city.
Level 2, Hollow Round Bullet, Arlington.
Level 2, Hollow Round Bullet, Arlington. So Arlington is a subpart of Washington, which tells me it is a city in the state of Washington.
Hollow Round Bullet, Seattle.
And Hollow Round Bullet, Seattle, which also tells me Arlington is a city in the state of Washington.
Land.
So now I have a well-structured list, excuse me, that indicates to me I have 2 states, and each state has 2 cities as subparts of those states. This is a well-structured list that works well for all your potential users. There are multiple methods for creating lists. First of all, you can create an automatic bulleted or numbered list from a new list using the ribbons, or you could automatically create a automatically bulleted, numbered, or bulleted list from an existing list, or you can manually create a numbered or bulleted list from an existing list. And I'm going to show you all 3 of these methods. There are several ways to do this, but I'm going to create an auto-formatted list from the ribbon for this first example. So I'm going to go Alt-H to go to my home ribbon. So that puts me on the home ribbon. Then I want to go over to my bullets. So I'll type U.
Ribbon menus, bullets table, bullet.
And I have my bullets table, and right now it's set to no bullets. I'm going to go over and select my solid circle bullets.
Bulleted, solid circle button. Print edit.
And that puts me in. Now when I start writing, I am going to get a bulleted list. So I'm going to first put writing supplies.
WRITING space SUPELIES.
And press enter.
Enter, bullet.
And it gives me another entry at that same level. But I need to do a sub-level, a subcategory of writing supplies. So I need a tab in with a different bullet. So I'm going to press tab.
2.0 inches, level 1.
And it now gives me a tabbed in with the hollow round bullet instead of a solid bullet. And now I'm going to put my writing supplies. First of all, I'm going to need pens.
PENS.
And I'm going to press enter.
Enter, bullet.
And I'm still at this second level. So I'm going to put pencils.
PENCILS.
And I'm going to press enter again.
Enter, bullet, autocorrect, pencils.
And evidently mistyped pencils. And then I'm going to add a third one here, and I'm going to type markers.
MARKERS.
And press enter.
Enter, bullet.
But I'm done with the subcategory of writing supplies. So I'm going to press enter a second time.
Enter, bullet.
And it puts me back at a level 1. And I'm going to put paper supplies.
PAPER space SUPPLIES.
And when I press enter,
Enter, bullet.
I'm still at level 1, but I need a subcategory. So once again, I'm going to tab in.
2.0 inches. O.
And I'm now in a subcategory for my paper supplies. So I'm going to put,
NOTE space PADS.
I should have capitalized that, but that's okay. Notepads. I'm also going to need
STICKY space NOTES.
And notice I'm still at a level 2. I'm still a subcategory under paper supplies. Press enter one more time.
Enter, bullet.
And I'm going to need printer paper.
PRINTER space PAPER.
And I'm going to press enter.
Enter, bullet.
But I'm done with my paper supplies, so I need to go back to a level 1.
Enter, bullet.
I pressed enter a second time, and now I'm back at a level 1. And I'm going to put electronic supplies.
ELECTRONIC space SUPPLIES.
Press enter.
Enter, bullet.
And I need my subcategory, so I'll tab in.
2.0 inches. O, 3 of 3. Autocorrect, bullet.
So what I need now is computer,
COMPUTER.
enter.
Enter bullet.
I need tablet,
TABLET. Enter bullet.
entered, and I'm still in the subcategory. So I'm going to put calculator
CALCULATOR.
because I get to take one of those dreaded math classes. And I'm going to press enter.
Enter bullet.
Still in the level 2, I'm in that subcategory. I don't need to be in the subcategory anymore, so I'll press enter a second time.
Enter bullet.
That puts me back at the main category level, but I'm done with my list, so I'm going to press enter one more time,
Enter.
and I'm out of my bulleted list.
Level 2. 3 of 3.
So that's how you do an automatic bulleted list, and you can do the same thing with a numbered list from the ribbons. This time, I'm going to show you how to do an automatic bulleted or numbered list from the keyboard. It's very easy. You don't have to go to the ribbons to start this. So I'm going to do a bulleted list, and I'm going to do the same school supplies list that I just did. So I'm going to put an asterisk
Star.
and tab,
Bullet. Autocorrect colon bullet.
and I'm now in a bulleted list that will look just like the list I created from the ribbon. So I'm going to put
WRITING space SUPPLIES.
writing supplies,
Enter bullet.
enter, tab,
2.00 inches level 1.
and I'm going to put
autocorrect PENS.
pens.
Enter bullet.
I'm still in my second level.
PENCILS.
Pencils,
Enter bullet.
still in my second level.
MARKERS.
Enter.
Enter bullet.
And I'm going back to my main category. So second enter.
Enter bullet.
And this time I'm going to put
PAPER.
paper,
SUPPLIES.
paper supplies, enter.
Enter bullet.
Go in for my category. So tab once.
2.00 inches. Autocorrect colon bullet.
And first one is going to be
NOTE space PADS.
notepads,
Enter bullet.
still on my second level. So I'm going to do sticky notes,
STICKY space NOTES.
enter again.
Enter bullet.
And I'm going to put printer paper
PRINTER space PADTER.
and enter.
Enter bullet.
I'm done with the subcategory. I need to go back to the first category or its top category. So I'm going to enter a second time
Enter bullet.
and
ELECTRONIC space SUPPLIES.
electronic supplies, enter.
Enter bullet.
I'm going in for my subcategory, tab once.
2.00 inches. Autocorrect colon bullet.
And under here, I'm going to have computer,
COMPUTER.
enter,
Enter bullet.
tablet,
TABLET.
enter,
Enter bullet. CALCULATOR.
calculator, enter.
Enter bullet.
But I'm done with that level. I'm going to enter a second time,
Enter bullet.
back at first level, but I'm done with the list. So enter a third time,
Enter.
and I'm out of the list. It's that simple to create a well-structured, bulleted or numbered list using the keyboard. Okay, so what if you already have a list created and you've done it like you see here where I've tabbed in the subcategories, but you want to make it bulleted so it stands out even better as a list, and it will also be a well-structured list with the proper bullets and the proper heading style. Proper levels. So to do that,
Writing supplies.
I'm going to start here with my writing supplies, and I'm going to select all the way down to the end of the list.
Writing pens, pencils, markers, papers, notepad, sticky note, printer, electronic computer, tablet, calculator.
Okay, so I've selected the entire list. I'm going to go to the home ribbon,
Alt H, upper ribbon,
back over to my bullets list.
paragraph tool,
So I'm going to right arrow,
bulleted, solid circle button,
and I've selected my solid circle. So now when I press enter,
print edit, level 2,
and voila, my list now has its bullets.
hollow round bullet calculator, hollow round bullet tablet, hollow round bullet computer, level 1, bullet electronic supplies.
And notice it is
level 2,
reading.
hollow round bullet.
The screen reader is reading the levels correctly, identifying the bullets correctly, and everything is working as it should. Okay, so what about doing exams or tests or worksheets that are numbered with multiple choice such as A, B, C, and D? How do you do that? Let's do an auto-numbered list. And to start off with, I'm going to put 1,
period.
And I'm using a period. You could also use a closing parentheses there, and I'm going to hit tab.
1, autocorrect colon list item 1.
And Word automatically turns this into a numbered list. And so my first question can be,
EXPLAIN space WHY space ACCESSIBILITY space IS space IMPORTANT space TO space COLLEGES, period.
so it's an essay question. And I have my number 1 there. And if I press enter,
Enter 2,
it puts 2 right under there, but I want some space to allow my students to write in here. Since I'm giving them a print copy, this electronic copy will also be accessible though for someone who's visually impaired and needs to take the test on the computer. So I'm going to hit enter about 4 or 5 times,
Enter, 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 enter.
give them some space. Then I'm going to put 2,
Period. 1.50 inches. 2. Autocorrect colon list item 2.
and we're back in our number. We're still in our numbered list, and it went with number 2. And this question is going to be
WAAE space. YEAR space WS space EAE.
oops, I'm sorry.
Level HT space Miss W space. R space WAS space EAE space ADA space SIGNED space INTO space LAW. Question.
What year was the ADA signed into law?
Enter 3.
Now it went to number 3, but I need A, B, C, and D.
A autocorrect colon A period.
So now I'm going to put 1964.
Enter B.
I got my B there, 1973,
Enter C.
and I'm going to put 1988
Enter D.
and 1990. So now I have my multiple choice questions there that students can mark.
Enter E.
I don't need an E, so I'm going to press enter a second time.
Enter 3.
And I'm now to question 3, and that is going to be
WAAT space PERCENTAGE space OS space POINTS space MUSEA space SEUDENT space EARN space TO space GET space GRADE space OF space C space IN space AIS space CLASS. Question.
okay.
Enter 4.
And again, I want multiple choice, so I'm going to tab in.
A3 of 3. Autocorrect colon A period 60%. Enter B. 70%. Enter C. 80%. Enter D. 90%. Enter E.
And I don't want E, so I'm going to press enter again.
Enter 4.
And I am back at my first level, ready for question number 4. So that's basically the information you need to create accessible, usable, and convertible lists that are better for everybody. If you have questions or need more information, feel free to contact me. My contact information is on the screen. Robert Beach, Assistive Technology at Kansas City, Kansas Community College. My email address is rbbeach@kckc.edu, and my phone number is 913-288-7664. Repeating that, rbeach@kckc.edu, and my phone number 913-288-7671. I hope this has proven helpful for you, and have a great day. I hope to see you in lesson 3.